Tools. And by Ernie Miller's True Value Hardware and Garage. And by the Campus Book Exchange.
Let down your guard, honey, just about the time you think it's all right. Break down, take down your best day.
NCAA Division II this evening in the Eastern Regional against Philadelphia Textile. Glenn Lewis along with my partner Tim Brown. And Tim, California with a hard-fought victory last evening, a little bit too close for some people.
Hey, last night that was an excellent game played by both teams, California and Pace. California went into overtime. They stuck with their game plan. They did what they had to do, playing against a team that played a slow-down game, something that they were not used to playing against.
Exactly, as you mentioned, Cal over Pace last evening, 69-66 in overtime, and he mentioned a slow-down ball game. All three of these other teams in this tournament from the New York Collegiate Athletic Conference, with St. Rose defeating Pace in the consolation game. You mentioned, Tim, it seems to me this New York Collegiate Athletic Conference plays more of a perimeter game and slows the ball down, does not like to run a lot.
Yes, most of the teams in that conference does do that, but Pace is not going to do, Philadelphia Textile is not going to do that. They're going to come out and they're going to come right at California. They have three players on the front line, Randy Stover, Ed Malloy, and Roundtree, the Roundtree kid. All three of those guys are going to come at you. Those are the big scorers for Philadelphia Textile, so I'm expecting a very exciting game tonight.
And you mentioned the big players for Textile. Look at yesterday, Pace pretty much controlled the tempo of the ball game. We'll see this evening, can California play their style of game?
Yes, tonight California is going to be able to play their style of game because Philadelphia Textile is not going to slow the ball down and take California out of the game. Philadelphia Textiles plays the kind of basketball that California is used to playing against.
So that sets the stage for the championship ball game of the Eastern Regional, the winner to go on to Springfield, Massachusetts. When we return, the tip-off of the starting lineups and the national anthem. This is Channel 29 Sports.
Officially, we don't know what the heck it is.
All I can say about this, it feels good.
Ladies, chill out.
You could poke someone's eye out like that.
Yeah, they're out there having fun in that warm California sun.
For 58 years, the Visa family has provided the Mon Valley with a selection of quality engineered Chryslers and Plymouth cars and vans, a great selection of clean used cars, and a 5-star service department. Hi, this is Bud Visa from Visa Motors, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Belle Vernon. I'd like to invite all of you to visit our store so we can show you our selection of new Chryslers and Plymouths and wide selection of used cars on our 50-car lot. While you're here, we'd also like you to take a look at our antiseptic service area. We especially look forward to your visit because at Visa Motors, we strive to have no unhappy customers. The Visa family cares about you as a customer.
58 years of satisfied customers is what Visa Motors is all about. Visa Motors, Chrysler, Plymouth, Broad Avenue, North Belle Vernon.
In 1917, Brownsville General Hospital began serving area families. Today, Brownsville Hospital is an ultra-modern facility offering state-of-the-art health care. Brownsville's professional staff employs the latest technologies and procedures to provide you and your loved ones with the finest health care. From emergency room treatment on up through intensive care and skilled nursing facilities, Brownsville Hospital is here for you. Neighbors caring for neighbors. Brownsville General Hospital, state-of-the-art health care right here at home.
Mr. Jones?
Yeah, kid.
You can have this, Mr. Jones. Really?
Thanks, kid.
There's an easier way to get all your California University sportswear. Stop by the Campus Book Exchange. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and conveniently located on the lower level of the Student Union, the Campus Book Exchange carries a complete line of name-brand college apparel, including Wolf, Artex, and gear. They also stock everything else you'll need to be a star at California University.
Never mind, Mr. Jones. I'm going to the Campus Book Exchange.
The Campus Book Exchange, your one-stop bookstore.
Hey, kid! Kid!
True Value hardware stores know it's hard to hide a leaky faucet. So before faulty plumbing becomes a fixture around your house, let Master Plumber Parts and Fixtures help you modernize and economize with easy do-it-yourself instructions. Because it's harder to live with a leaky faucet than it is to repair it with professional quality Master Plumber supplies.
At Ernie Miller's Hardware and Variety in downtown California, Pennsylvania.
Catch all the Vulcan action only on Channel 29.
Welcome back to Hamer Gymnasium on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania as we see the crowd getting settled in to view the regional championships here in the East between California University and Philadelphia Textile. And there you see the fresh banner, the PSAC West champions, the California University Vulcans.
There's a shot of the primetime man right there, Kenny Tillman. California's leading scorer, leading rebounder. He's California's everything.
Toomer with 28 points last evening in their victory over Pace University. That, of course, was an overtime ball game. Very exciting first game in this tournament. Textile got here by defeating St. Rose of Albany 83-70, and in the consolation game it was St. Rose over Pace University 59-52. So St. Rose takes the consolation, but everyone's waiting for the championship to determine who will represent the Eastern region in the Elite 8 National Championships in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's March 26th, 27th, and 28th. And the California Philadelphia Textile in the matchup. And right now we'll be sending it over to public address announcer Dave Smith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to California University Hamer Gymnasium and the championship game of the NCAA Division II Men's Basketball East Regional Tournament. The participants in tonight's final, ranked 4th in the nation from the city of brotherly love, the Philadelphia Textile Rams. And their opponents from California, Pennsylvania, ranked number 1 in the nation, the Cal U Vulcans. Please stand as Miss Tracy Maples sings our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we
promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of the competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. And now for tonight's starting lineups, representing the New York Collegiate Athletic Conference, Philadelphia Textile with a record of 28-3. And from the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, Western Division, California University Vulcans with a record of 29-1. For Philadelphia Textile, starting at a forward position, a 6'6" junior from Haverton, Pennsylvania, number 14, Ed Malloy. From California, at a forward position, a 6'3" senior from Morgantown, West Virginia, number 32, Rick Hill. For Philadelphia Textile, at a forward position, a 6'6" senior from Berwyn, Pennsylvania, number 20, Randy Stover. From California, at a forward position, a 6'5" senior from Timmonsville, South Carolina, number 35, James Kirkland. For Philadelphia Textile at center, a 6'8" senior from Wilmington, New Jersey, number 33, Damon Roundtree. For the Vulcans at center, a 6'7" senior from Ridgeland, South Carolina, number 25, Kenny. At the guard position, for Philadelphia Textile, a 5'11" sophomore from Newton Square, Pennsylvania, number 24, Patrick Chambers. For the Vulcans, at a guard position, a 6'1" junior from Williamstown, West Virginia, number 13, Raymond Gutierrez. At a guard position, for Philadelphia Textile, a 6'1" junior from Wilmington, Delaware, number 15, Nate T. Watson. For the Vulcans, a 6'1" senior from Sandusky, Ohio, number 10, Chris Williams. Philadelphia Textile head coach Herb McGree. The Vulcan head coach Jim Boone.
There you have it, the #1 team in the nation getting set to look forward to extending their winning streak, 27 games, the longest in NCAA, extend their home winning streak to 19-0, looking to do that this evening. But if Philadelphia Textile Rams have anything to say about it, they're coming in ranked 4th in the nation. They're on their own winning streak of themselves, 12 games, and they're the veteran team. This is the same team. 4 out of the 5 starters on this Textile team were in the Elite 8 last year. Got knocked off by Bridgeport up in Springfield, and they look to return there by beating California.
Yes, Philadelphia Textile has the experience of playing in a big game like this, but California plays in big games like this all season.
The officials getting things underway, is set to jump the ball up at center. Officials for tonight, Tom McGrath, Jim Hooter, and Mike Lonsky, as the tip is won by Textile. Randy Stover making way for Patrick Chambers, the point guard, working against Chris Williams as we open things up in this East region.
And California comes out with their typical man-to-man pressure defense in the passing lane and all over the man when he has the ball.
T. Watson working against Williams now. Getting it down low to Damon Roundtree, the big man underneath. Had 24 points last night's ball game. Gets in the books first for Textile. Here's Rick Hill.
As you can see, Philadelphia Textile's backing off Rick Hill. They know Rick Hill's not a threat to shoot from the outside. So what Rick's going to have to do, he's going to have to penetrate some and make Malloy respect him when he has the ball.
As There's Kenny Toomer, his first bucket of the evening. I'm sure we're going to see more from him as he's averaging over 25 points per ball game. Man to watch for California. As mentioned, he had 28 points in the overtime win against Pace last evening.
Hey, Kenny Toomer gets the ball down on the block. You might as well chalk up 2 points or probably get the foul, or maybe both.
Just underway from Hamer Gymnasium, Glenn Lewis along with partner Tim Brown in the East Final here at California, Pennsylvania. The winner heading to Springfield, the Elite Eight in NCAA Division II. Shot put up by Stover. Shot is off. Rebound goes down to Chris Williams. Kenny Toomer now trying to get around Randy Stover.
It's a good move right there by Kenny Toomer. He gives a shot fake on the three-point. Stover has to step up. Kenny Toomer puts the ball on the floor, and Stover fouls him while he's on the floor.
Randy Stover, the senior from Berwyn, PA, picking up his first personal of the ball game. 18 minutes remaining first half, tied up 2 apiece. California and Philadelphia Textile. Williams. And officials timeout on the court.
I don't think the shot clock was moving when that's why they had the official timeout.
They have been having problems with the shot clock that is placed above the glass. As you see right there, they were using the shot clock that was on the floor in earlier ball games on and off.
Yet they've been having problems with those shot clocks all season. And I think at other schools that have these same brand of shot clocks like we have here at California, they've been having trouble with theirs too.
They will get things back underway. As the clock rolls under 18 minutes in the first half, all tied up 2 apiece.
Philadelphia Textiles in this 1-2-2 zone, and I'm sure California's going to put 3 guys on the baseline.
Kirkland gets his own rebound. Following it up, California with a 4-2 lead early on. Now here's Nate Watson working against Raymond Gutierrez. Back around to Chambers. Patrick Chambers, just a sophomore, running the point guard position. Here's Watson against Hill. And that time Roundtree tries the bounce pass, goes off of California.
Right there, Philadelphia Textiles did something similar to what Pace did all last night. Cut backdoor and look for the backdoor cut for easy layup.
Into Ed Malloy, his shot does not fall. Second effort by Stover doesn't hit. Finally, James Kirkland are at the board.
Look at Kenny Toomer runs the floor. When you can get Kenny Toomer running the floor, he's going to get easy layups like this.
4 points for Kenny Toomer, 6-2 California's lead as the clock rolls under 17 minutes here in the first half.
Chris Williams doing a good job of pressuring the ball right here. And Rick Hill, he lunges right there. That's something you don't want to do because you give the team an open opportunity for a shot.
As the ball was stripped away by Chris Williams, pushing it up quickly to Rick Hill.
Hey, that was a good drive right there by Rick Hill because he's going to have to make Malloy respect him. He can't just stand out on the wing and expect the ball and let Malloy stay back in the zone.
Traveling violation, turnover going California's way. There you see the guilty party, Patrick Chambers, the sophomore point guard from Newton Square, Pennsylvania, turning the ball over. 16-20 rolling, first half of play. California leading 6-2. Ball knocked away by Roundtree.
Right there, that was a good idea by Kenny Toomer, but the pass just wasn't there. It was 2 guys around James Kirkland when he tried to pass the ball inside.
And wide open was Randy Stover, and Stover hitting his first bucket, and that's one person you don't want to keep wide open because he's the leading scorer on this team. In fact, he's the leading scorer in school history at Philadelphia Textile. Over 2,300 points in his career. Watch out for number 20, Randy Stover.
And you also don't want to get this guy hot either. We're saying it all year. Ray Gutierrez is one of the better three-point shooters in the country right now.
Gutierrez shooting 55% from that range. He had a couple three-pointers last evening. California leading 9-4, 15-30 first half. Ed Malloy. Second effort does not go for Stover. California in transition.
As you can see, when Rick Hill gets the ball in the corner, nobody's even going out close on him.
Kenny Toomer now with 6 points, and right away, Textile will decide to call a timeout on the floor to talk things over with California with the early 11-4 lead over Philadelphia Textile. 15:09 remaining in the first half, and there you see a very vocal California crowd this evening. Another great crowd on hand, standing room only here from Hamer Gymnasium, Tim.
Hey, there's not an open seat in the stands here tonight. The crowd is here into the game. It's just jam-packed house tonight.
There you see the Textile bench under head coach Herb Maggie in his 25th season at Philadelphia Textile. This is the 16th time that he has led the Rams into the NCAA playoffs.
Philadelphia Textile has a lot of experience of being in this type of game, being in Eastern Regional Championship. With California's, last time California was in the Eastern Regional Championship was back in 1988 when I was a freshman here. That was Coach Boone's second season.
Back underway, is clock rolling under 15 minutes. California leads 11-4. Patrick Chambers pass into Damon Roundtree, handing it off now to Ed Malloy, the junior. Back out to Watson, around to Chambers, guarded by Rick Hill.
California's doing a very good job on. That's a good block right there by James Kirkland. So nobody's going out on Rick Hill. Rick Hill's got to do something with the ball. Put it on the floor. Make Ed Malloy play him.
And a foul out in the court by Patrick Chambers. That'll be his first personal foul, team second for the Textile Rams. California still yet to pick up a foul in this ball game as we are over 5 minutes into it. California leads 11-4. Kenny Toomer. 8 points for him. California increases their lead to 9 as we head down to 14 minutes in the first half.
Hey, Kenny Toomer gets the ball on the block. He jumps up and turns around. If he can seize the basket clearly, he's going to knock down the shot.
Roundtree taking it himself all the way in. Who gets the rebound? Finally coming down to Ed Malloy, and we have a push in the paint.
That foul was on Rick Hill there.
California foul, number 32, Rick Hill, his first.
And that will be the first team foul against the California Vulcans. Quick into Randy Stover, and James Kirkland going to be whistled.
Call was a little late there. I thought there was a foul, but the referee just seemed to call the foul just a little too late.
Team fouls even up at 2 apiece. 13:46 remaining first half. California leading 13-4. And that will send 6'6", 190-pound senior Randy Stover to the line. He shoots over 81%.
All these guys on Philadelphia Textiles team is very slim. Here's the play right here. This is when the foul occurred right there. Now the official just decided to call a foul when Kenny Toomer gets the ball.
Checking into the California lineup will be number 42, Chad Scott, sophomore from Monessen, taking the place of James Kirkland underneath.
Coach Boone takes James Kirkland out, so he won't pick up that second foul, and let him relax some. And tell him what he has to do. Just let him relax, and I'm sure he'll be back in this game very soon. Good pass
inside
by
going to Chad Scott. And he gets into the scoreboard. California's lead back to 10 points now as we head winding down to the 13-minute mark, remaining in the first half of play. Here's Stover working against Scott.
California keeps the pressure on the ball and in the passing lanes.
And long shot by Watson. Rebound underneath by Randy Stover. And Stover's, Tim, all over the court. He comes averaging almost 20 points per ball game, 10 rebounds per ball game. He's an all-around player, Randy Stover.
I was just ready to say the same thing. That's why Randy Stover is the leading scorer in Philadelphia Textile system. He's always around the ball. He crashes the offensive boards well, and he's just a good shooter.
Kenny Toomer misses this one. As Damon Roundtree, taking it to the hole, draws the foul.
Foul right there was on Ray Gutierrez.
First against him, third team foul against the Vulcans. 12:25 to play first half. California leads 15-7. Will send the 6'8" senior Roundtree to the line. Only a 46% foul shooter.
Hey, so that was a good foul right there by Ray Gutierrez. Fouling Damian Roundtree. He's not a good free throw shooter. Instead of taking the charge, maybe if he'd have taken the charge, he still would have gave up the 2 points. So why not make him earn the 2 points?
Gets the second one to roll. 15-8 is our score. As we roll down to 12 minutes remaining. First period. Gutierrez. Rick Hill. Chad Scott. California will keep it.
It was a nice strong drive right there by Chad Scott. Right now I see Philadelphia Textile. They're going to go into a zone while California's taking the ball out of bounds.
25 on the shot clock.
No bucket. Rick Hill was on the rim right there. That was a good call by the official. The ball was still up on the rim, and Rick Hill taps it.
Rick Hill, the senior for Morgantown, West Virginia.
That's very good that Rick's being aggressive going to the offensive boards, but he got to realize when the ball's still up on the rim that he can't touch the ball. Good hustle right here by Chad Scott. And he causes a turnover by Philadelphia Textile.
I gotta say, it went off of Stover and put a nice plus next to Chad Scott's name on that play. It's something you don't see in the box score, but
hey, Chad Scott does a lot of little things coming off the bench in California that you don't see in the box scores. You see the rebounding and all that, but Chad's not scoring like he really wants to right now because he has Kenny Toomer and James Kirkland in front of him. But in the future, Chad Scott's going to be a great player here at California.
2 years of eligibility left for the Menneson product. Under 20 on the shot clock now.
Nice pass. Nice pass by Chris Wynn. Doing something that he does very well is breaking down the opposing team's defense.
Kenny Toomer now into double figures. California's lead 17-8. Clock rolling down under 11 minutes. Randy Stover gets it to Roundtree, back door, going to Ed Malloy, and that's something that Pace used a lot against California in last night's ball game.
Hey, that was a good job right there by Philadelphia Textile. Rick Hill lost track of where the ball was at. All he saw was his man, didn't see the ball, and they get an easy layup.
Cuts the California lead to 7.
That was a nice lob pass inside the Chad Scott by Kenny Toomer. That's something that California really wants when you have someone flash to your high post, and then you want your other post player to seal on the inside so you can get some easy buckets.
Chad Scott now with 4 points. California's lead back to 9. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Pass going into Roundtree. And he draws the foul.
It's a nice move inside by Roundtree. He gets Kenny Toomer on his back. He goes to the middle and he gives a shot fake, and then he goes into Kenny Toomer shooting the ball.
Just the first personal foul against Kenny Toomer. Fourth team foul as James Kirkland will return back in, replacing Kenny Toomer. Also into the California lineup will be Todd McLaughlin, the freshman from Zanesville, Ohio. First guard off the bench for California.
Todd McLaughlin checks in for Rick Hill. Now when Malloy's guarding Todd McLaughlin, he cannot step back and let Todd McLaughlin shoot the ball because Todd McLaughlin is a very good outside shooter.
Mind you, Roundtree, only a 46% foul shooter. It's 1 out of the 2. 19-11, California's lead. Clock rolls under 10 minutes now. Wide open, Gutierrez.
Gutierrez is 2 for 2 from three-point line. And once he gets hot, he can just about count the lights out.
Second three-pointer on the evening for Gutierrez. California's lead, the largest of the evening, 11 points.
We saw a couple weeks ago, Ray Gutierrez comes out on the court and goes 8 for 11 from the three-point line.
Ed Malloy answering back for the Rams.
This guy's a very good three-point shooter too, Ed Malloy. Can't let him sit out there and shoot some three-pointers either.
Malloy and Stover are the two men to watch for Textile, 14 and 20. Both can shoot it from the outside, as can Chris Williams.
Chris Williams can fill it up from the outside too. He's not a Ray Gutierrez. He doesn't come down and look for the three-pointer all the time. But if you step back off Chris Williams and relax, he can pull up and shoot that three-pointer.
8:48 and rolling here in the first half. California with the 11-point lead, and here's the other three-point threat. We just mentioned it, Randy Stover.
Right there, we've seen 4 three-pointers in a row. 2 by Philadelphia Textile and 2 by California.
Todd McLaughlin back over to Chris Williams, working against Watson. Inside, James Kirkland, too strong.
Good job by Chad Scott, attacking the offensive boards, picking up the loose ball, and going up strong with the shot.
And that will be the second personal foul against Randy Stover. And he's the big man for the Rams, and he's got to watch himself in there as Chad Scott to the line for the Vulcans. Shooting 47%, but he makes the first.
California's team has not been shooting free throws good all season. But the guys do step up to the line and knock down the important free throws when they need them.
California leading 26-17, awaiting the bonus from Chad Scott. 8:11 remaining first half. Makes 1 out of the 2. He gets the board.
Good job right there by Todd McLaughlin. He couldn't get the ball, so he just smacks it out to his teammate. Very smart play by Todd McLaughlin.
Gutierrez has the ball knocked away by David Fields. And here come Textile with Chambers out of the ball game. Nati Watson will run the show. New man in there is number 12, David Fields, freshman. Gutierrez finally coming up with it. And foul going against David Roundtree. And the technical foul.
Hey, David Roundtree was pleading with the official here that he wasn't arguing, but the official didn't buy it and gave him the technical. Gutierrez is going to step out and shoot the technical foul. Here's the play right here. Roundtree was just riding Ray Gutierrez up the sideline, and it's out of the screen now, but he was right in front of us, and he was arguing with the official.
Gutierrez, 87% foul shooter, the man we want on the line.
Hey, Ray Gutierrez has been an outstanding free throw shooter ever since he's been here at California. I can remember one time when he was a freshman, he hit like 19 or 20 free throws in a row.
As Ray Gutierrez hits both of those foul shots, giving California a 28-17 lead. 7:36 remaining in the first half of play. And Philadelphia Textile electing to call their second timeout of the ball game. Coach Herb McGee wants to get his troops together and settle down because keep the score within reason to come back to California.
I don't think that was a good idea of round 3 arguing with the official and picking up a technical. If he wouldn't have picked up the technical, he would be only down 9 now. But here it is, they're down 11 because he wants to argue with an official. Ray Gutierrez goes to the free throw line, knocked down both free throws. Now Philadelphia Textile's down by 11.
And of course, that does not make Damon Roundtree one of the favorite players for this California crowd. And that's another thing. It's a little bit obvious to us, I guess. We're so used to winning at home. An 18-0 record at home here at Hamer Gymnasium for the California Vulcans this season. How important is it for this team to be playing at home for these East Regionals?
And it's very important for California to be playing at home. They're playing somewhere where they're used to playing at every day. They practice here. The fans are here. The fans have been great all season. And the fans are really behind the team. And they're getting to the game. And it just makes things uncomfortable for the opposing team.
And with that technical foul shot, Gutierrez hitting both the shots. California will get the inbounds pass. 7:30 to play in the first half. California leading 28-17.
This could be a possible 4 or 5 point play. 5-point play. Right there. 5-point turnaround. Ray Gutierrez.
Ray Gutierrez, his third three-pointer of the evening. He has 11 points, and California's lead now 31-17 as we roll down to 7 minutes in the first half.
Once Ray Gutierrez starts knocking down the three-pointers like he's doing, it's going to be a long night for Philadelphia Textile.
Back out to the T. Watson, working it around to Ed Malloy. Stover now trying to get around Kirkland. And a push away from the ball.
I think it was a foul right there on Chad Scott. Chad Scott, when Stover was driving, reached in. He got a part of Stover's arm.
Scott, that's his first personal. Actually, now we're going to check that. It's against Chris Williams. Also his first personal. Team 5th foul against the Vulcans. Textile has 4 as we see the return of Kenny Toomer into the ball game. Toomer already with 10 points to his credit, and Randy Stover, the senior, at the line. It's the first. Stover, the senior from Berwyn, Pennsylvania. It's both as we have a 31-19 ball game, and we see some pressure employed by Textile.
I guess that was a good job right there by Philadelphia Textile off the free throw. Put a little press on California. Something California, I'm sure they weren't expecting.
The T. Watson. Back around the field to Malloy now. Stover.
Hey, the guy created the shot right there. He had 3 people around. He just split the defense and laid it up with his left hand.
Randy Stover, 12 points. Cuts the California lead to 10.
Good pass back. That's a good pass right there by James Kirkland inside to Kenny Toomer, but it was a better pass back to James Kirkland by Kenny Toomer. But James Kirkland got called for the travel.
Under 6 minutes remaining. 31-21. Textile, another patient team on offensive. We've seen through all these New York Collegiate Athletic Conference teams in this tournament, St. Rose and Pace, very patient, working the ball on the outside.
Philadelphia Textile is very patient with the ball, as we see the block right there by James Kirkland, but they're not as patient as Pace was last night.
Pace was pretty much the extreme of that slow down offense as the ball gets into David Fields, misses the easy layup.
They missed the bunny right there.
That's got to hurt Textile.
Right now, California is just getting the ball inside too easy. And if Philadelphia Textile continue to let California get the ball inside that easy, this is going to be a long night for Philadelphia Textile.
And yet another turnover. 5 minutes to play in the first half. California's lead is 12.
Right there's another pass inside to James Kirkland. I think James Kirkland really wanted the ball up high. Kenny Toomer bounced it in, and James Kirkland just wasn't expecting the bounce pass coming into him.
Tim, we mentioned earlier in the pregame about the height matchup. California has definitely the height advantage, and it seems to be on offense. They're trying to get it inside to the big men underneath Kirkland and Toomer, and doing a job so far.
Hey, that's where they've won the games at all season, so there's no reason to change things now. They've won games this season by getting the ball inside to their big people.
And it's well supplemented this evening with 4 3-pointers to California's credit.
See a foul right there. I think the foul was on James Kirkland.
James Kirkland, excuse me, Tim, go ahead.
Right there, they called the foul on Kirkland, but Coach Boone wanted to push off by Stover.
So James Kirkland will be sitting down with his second personal foul. He will not see any more action this first half as we have Chad Scott into the California lineup. .4:14 remaining, 33-21. California. And that's a three-point shot.
That was a deep three-point shot right there.
By T. Watson.
Good job. Chad Scott running the court well, lose control of the ball, ready to go out of bounds, and he just throws the ball back far.
Now we see Philadelphia Textile back within 7 of California, 3:30 and rolling.
Right there, Kenny Toomer. He's not squared up to the basket, but he eyed the basket down, and he's got that shot to go in.
12 points for Toomer.
Right, that shot right there. Most coaches would say that's a bad shot, but Kenny Toomer, he has such good body control. He can make those shots when he's off balance, if he's not squared up to the basket correctly.
And we have a push-off against California. Let's see who the guilty party is.
I think that was Chad Scott. No, it wasn't. Just haven't been able to pick out those light fouls.
Laughlin, his first personal, team 7. That will propel the Rams into the bonus. 3:12 remaining first half, onward. And the person to the line, one that California doesn't mind sending, Damon Roundtree, 46%. He's 2 for 4 this evening.
As soon as he said he's a 46% free throw shooter, he steps up and knocks it down.
He has 5 points this evening. So far, 35-27, California, 3:12 remaining. Roundtree hits.
Here it is.
The deuce.
Philadelphia Textile comes on. It's a steal right there by Roundtree.
And Malloy.
Something California's not expecting. California wouldn't expect him to press coming off the free throw.
And the California lead is whittled back down to 5 as we roll under 3 minutes. .30 on the shot clock.
There we go, Ray Gutierrez.
Textile can cut the California lead down to at least 3, possibly 2. There you see Eugene Haith a 6'5" freshman from Philly's Overbrook High School wearing number 34 in the white t-shirt. Only saw spot duty last evening as Textile basically went with 6 players.
Good job by Chris Williams stripping number 12, David Fields, with the ball.
Todd McLaughlin now will take it himself.
It's a good drive by Todd McLaughlin. He still can go to the basket strong. He gets a shot block, but block shots are part of the game.
T. Watson, 5 points for him, and the California's lead is down to 3, heading to a minute 45.
Just because Todd McLaughlin got a shot block that last time on that drive, he cannot go into a shell because he got a shot block and go out, get his way out of the game.
Down to 20 on the shot clock. Minute 25 on the game clock.
Hey, that was pretty close there. That was a dangerous move by Chris Williams going after the ball when Watson has the ball on the baseline, but it turns out California's way.
As Rick Hill checking back into the California lineup, replacing McLaughlin, and Textile also making a move as Keith will sit back down and Randy Stover back into the lineup for the Rams. Minute 17, Rick Hill's trapped.
I don't know what the call was there. Think they get Rick Hill for a charge?
That will be the call.
Oh, no, Rick Hill called a timeout.
Oh, as the ball goes rolling underneath our broadcast facility. Just the first California timeout. Textile already taking 2 timeouts.
There it is. That's a good job by Rick Hill calling a timeout. He's in the trap. He doesn't want to throw the ball away. Call a timeout. You have a couple timeouts. It doesn't hurt the team at all. What it does is give Coach Boone an opportunity to tell the guys on the team what to expect when they go into a zone when they're taking the ball out of bounds, because Philadelphia Textile is going to trap when California's taking the ball out of bounds underneath their own basket.
California will inbound the basketball. A minute 14 remaining in the first half. California, who had leads of up to 12 points, now finds themselves up by only 3, 35-32.
And as you can see, the Teaks got their faces all painted.
And some of the extra media on hand this evening. And the standing room only crowd at Hamer Gymnasium.
It's a packed house here in California.
In this East Region final, the winner off to the Elite 8 National Championships in Springfield, Massachusetts, March 26th through the 28th. Reminder in the consolation game, College of St. Rose from Albany defeating Pace earlier on. And here's that full court, here's that pressure by Textile. California with a minute left in the half.
Right there. Greg Terrace is open in the corner. Chris Williams is just like a second late with passing in the ball.
A minute remaining. 35-32 California.
I'm sure Philadelphia Textile is going to come out and run the clock down some and get a shot, hoping to go in on a positive note.
Taking his time is Watson working against Williams. Shot clock down to 20. As a couple substitutions, James Kirkland back in for Chad Scott, and also Patrick Chambers, the Textile starting point guard, in relieving Randy Stover.
And that when Rick Hill comes back in the game, that's when Philadelphia Textile goes into a 1-2-2 zone.
Clock down to 25 seconds.
Everybody's going to take a break here.
California looking to build on their 3-point lead before they head into halftime.
Sure, you're going to look for a skip pass or something to Ray Gutierrez, or try to get the ball inside of James Kirkland or Kenny Toon.
Clock down to 7. Down to 5. Will there be a whistle? No, stepping out of bounds. Who's basketball? They're going to say Textile.
Textile's ball.
With 3 seconds. Coach Boone going to the bench will take out James Kirkland. He was playing with 2 fouls. He doesn't want to pick up an extra one. 3 seconds.
That's a good move right there by Coach Boone, because you don't want one of your top players picking up early a 3rd foul this late in the first half.
Interesting turn of events now. Stepping out of bounds again now is Textile. California will have 1 second. 1 tick remaining. And we have some, let's see.
Hey, Kenny Toon, all you got to do is see the basket. It doesn't matter how far away you are.
And we are at halftime from Hamer Gymnasium in the NCAA Division II Eastern Regional Final with the California University Vulcans over the Philadelphia Textile Rams by a 35-32 score. We will be back to take a look at some first half statistics when we return. You are watching Channel 29 Sports.
You got the right one, baby.
You got the right one, baby.
You got the right one, baby.
You got the right thing.
You got the right one.
Everybody.
Oh, Diet Pepsi. Baby, you got the right one.
There's only one right one, baby. You got the right one, baby.
With 100% NutraSweet.
For 58 years, the Visa family has provided the Mon Valley with a selection of quality engineered Chryslers and Plymouth cars and vans, a great selection of clean used cars, and a 5-star service department. Hi, this is Bud Visa from Visa Motors, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Belle Vernon. I'd like to invite all of you to visit our store so we can show you our selection of new Chryslers and Plymouths and wide selection of used cars on our 50-car lot. While you're here, we'd also like you to take a look at our antiseptic service area. We especially look forward to your visit because at Visa Motors, we strive to have no unhappy customers. The Visa family cares about you as a customer.
58 years of satisfied customers is what Visa Motors is all about. Visa Motors, Chrysler, Plymouth, Broad Avenue, North Belle Vernon.
In 1917, Brownsville General Hospital began serving area families. Today, Brownsville Hospital is an ultra-modern facility offering state-of-the-art health care. Brownsville's emergency room is available to meet the needs of the community 24 hours a day. Brownsville's highly experienced staff has the latest medical equipment and technology available so that you and your loved ones will receive prompt, efficient emergency care. Neighbors caring for neighbors. Brownsville General Hospital, state-of-the-art health care right here at home.
Now, True Test Easy Care comes in 2 new finishes to give you 3 ways to paint your home's interior. True Value Hardware stores recommend original Easy Care latex flat enamel in any room because its beautiful low sheen finish scrubs clean. Or get the decorator look with new Easy Care flat paint, the velvet finish that washes and wears. And for smooth durability, choose new scrubbable Easy Care latex semi-gloss.
At Ernie Miller's Hardware and Variety in downtown California, Pennsylvania.
We are at halftime. As you see, the California University Vulcans with a 35-32 lead over Philadelphia Textile. Tim, California had leads upwards of 11 points, but after Philadelphia Textile utilizing a couple of their timeouts, pulling back within reach of California, just 3 points now as we sit at halftime.
Yes, right now California has a 3-point lead and we're ready to start the second half, and I'm sure they're starting off with the ball. And I'm sure Coach Boone told them that the next 5 minutes of this game is the most important part of the game, and that they're going to have to go out and just jump on Philadelphia Textile right now, and they're going to have to jump on them, not by going down the court and doing it on offense. They got to do it on the defensive end.
That indeed. Just taking a quick look at some first half statistics, things pretty well even. Textile shooting 46%, California 54%. Everything else is pretty much even. Not worthwhile talking about. Turnovers even. Nobody is also in foul trouble. That is another item to mention. We mentioned Textile, not a very deep team. They don't use a lot of players. Basically 6 players does Coach McGee go with. And that's all we've seen so far this evening.
Yeah, they go down to 6 players, but they use those 6 players smart. Those 6 guys, they know that their team's not that deep. They're not going to come out and make a lot of silly fouls and get themselves in foul trouble and hurt their team.
One starter difference for Textile. Number 12, David Fields, will start at the guard position in place of Patrick Chambers. That means that T. Watson, number 15, will be running the show at point guard. California going with their same starting 5. As we open up the second half of play, Rick Hill now. Back out to Kenny Toomer, who led California in scoring in the first half, now has 14 points.
Right there, Roundtree lunges past Kenny Toomer, trying to make a steal. You let Kenny Toomer get that wide open to the bucket, he's going to score. You cannot lunge out on Kenny Toomer or try to anticipate too hard on Kenny Toomer. You've got to stay between him and the basket.
Here's Textile's leading scorer, Stover, who just passed it off to Ed Malloy. Randy Stover, number 20, had 12 points in the first half of play. He averages almost 20 per ball game. 37-32, California just underway the second half of play. Glenn Lewis along with my partner Tim Brown in the NCAA Eastern Regionals. The winner to go off to the Elite 8 in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Good rebound right there by James Kirkland, and Ray Gutierrez walks the ball up pretty slow.
Gutierrez, man with 3 3-pointers of the first half, as Toomer misses, and the rebound goes to Stover. Wide open shot for Watson.
Knocks down a wide open 3-point shot. Now that time California got back on defense, but they didn't pick up their men. They didn't pick up the men, and they left Watson wide open for a 3-point shot.
That's his second made of this ball game, cutting the California lead to 2. 2 minutes into the second half. James Kirkland.
Nice drive to the basket right there by James Kirkland going to the baseline.
6 points for him. He set out a good portion of the first half. He had 2 fouls early on, as we see California leading 39-35. Just 2 minutes into the second half.
The move right there by Watson. Watson, the guard, the point guards posting up guys on California's team.
Watson now in double figures, the junior guard from Wilmington, Delaware.
Good shot fake right there by Ray Gutierrez.
Rick Hill, his first point of the evening. California back on top by 4.
Right there, the bucket by Rick Hill right there was created by Ray Gutierrez, shot fake and penetration with the ball.
Randy Stover. Malloy now trying to get some movement in there as Stover is knocked around, and coming down with the board is Kenny Toomer.
Mad scramble down the other end for the ball between Kenny Toomer and Roundtree.
California 43-37, 16:38 remaining. And of course, that's only in regulation, as we saw California go into overtime against Pace last evening. Here's Malloy lobbing it inside to Damon Roundtree, and he's fouled.
And a foul right there on Kenny Toomer.
Kenny Toomer picking up his second personal. Now both California Post players, Toomer and Kirkland, each with 2 fouls. The first foul of the second half, as there we see head coach Herb McGee in his 25th season at the helm at Philadelphia Textile.
He's been very successful since he's been there at Philadelphia Textile.
Roundtree 4 of 6 from the line. Now has 7 points. Roundtree with 24 points in yesterday's win over St. Rose. And officials telling the players to tuck in those jerseys. That's an official rule.
Yes, that is an official rule to tuck in your uniform.
Rebound to Kenny Timmer, back to the hands of point guard Chris Williams, 43-38.
Well, careless mistake right there. That's nothing physical, that's just a mental mistake. Mental turnover right there by Rick Hill.
4 minutes into the second half, California with a 5-point lead. T. Watson, 6'1" junior from Wilmington, Delaware, at the controls. Out to Damon Roundtree. Roundtree doesn't look like he's comfortable out there.
No, he doesn't look too comfortable when he has to handle the ball out on the perimeter.
Rick Hill with the steal. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
That was good hustle right there by Rick Hill. He's always around the ball. That time he was in the passing lane. He steals the ball, but he happened to be standing on the out of bounds line when he got the ball.
Senior from Morgantown. Watson working against Williams, 20 on the shot clock. Randy Stover working against James Kirkland.
I'm sure Randy Stover's looking for the shot here.
Here's Roundtree. Roundtree now with 9 points. Back within 3 points are the Rams.
Another traveling call. That's 2 traveling calls right in a row called on California's team.
Teams were even at the turnovers after the first half of play. Here's Fields kicking it back out to Watson.
Fields that time had a wide open shot in the center of the lane. He didn't take the shot, he passed it up.
Randy Stover.
He ties his game up with a 3-point shot. That's Philadelphia Textile's leading scorer. When you got the leading scorer on the court, you got to know where he's at all the time while he's on the court.
Randy Stover now with 15 points as we roll under 15 minutes remaining.
And right now, Philadelphia Textile goes into a sort of a zone so they can pack it in on the inside.
And there the reach in again, Ed Malloy that time, swatting the ball away from James Kirkland.
I think the foul that time was on Stover. For pushing on the back.
And important foul there as Textile will have to watch himself. Stover now with 3 personal fouls. And we mentioned Coach McGee not using a lot of his bench.
Stover right there, just seeing it, pushing Kirkland in the back.
Just the first team foul against the Rams.
Right now, if I'm California, I'm going straight at Stover.
A foul right in front of the California bench. That was David Fields. That'll be his first personal, team second now.
I'm sure California's going to have to get the ball now inside to James Kirkland because Stover is guarding Kirkland. Let's get a 4th foul on Stover and get him out the game. Get the Philadelphia Textiles leading scorer on the bench.
14:29 remaining, 43 apiece. California had a lead in the first half, upwards of 11 points, as Textile whittled it down to 3 at halftime, and now we are tied at 43.
See, that shot right there, it's not something that Rick Hill does. He's going to have to get in his role of passing the ball around, get the ball inside to James Kirkland, Kenny Tillman, move the ball around the perimeter. That was a good drive, but the shot, he was off balance. He was going away from the basket when he shot that ball.
There it is. Got to get the ball to Ray Gutierrez. You got to get the ball to him on the perimeter when he's wide open. He can step in and knock down these three-pointers.
Gutierrez now 14 points in the ball game. California back up by 3. That is Gutierrez's 4th three-pointer of the evening. Here's Roundtree. Back to Watson. Reminder, number 20, Randy Stover. He's playing with 3 personals. The big gun for Textile. And Ed Malloy with a shot, and he is fouled in the process.
And right there, Rick Hill picks up his 3rd personal foul. 2nd personal foul.
2nd team foul against the Vulcans. 13-14 remaining. California with a 46-43 lead, and that will send the junior from Havertown, Pennsylvania to the line. Ed Malloy, for the first time this evening, shooting 79%. And Rick Hill will see the bench as Todd McLaughlin, who saw considerable time in the first half, did the freshman from Ohio. Back in now is McLaughlin as Malloy hits both shots. And back within a point, our Textile, we see that full court press.
Textile comes out with that full court press after the free throws. And there he is. There he is.
Number 5.
Number 5 on the night. Hey, a lot of coaches wouldn't want someone shooting a free throw, when a three-pointer when nobody's underneath the basket. But a California coach won't allow Ray Gutierrez to shoot the ball when the ball's rotated on a get an opportunity like that.
California back up by 4, 12.5 to play. Here's Roundtree getting his own rebound.
Good job by Ray Gutierrez to snowing the ball up.
Leading it a little bit too far for Kirkland was McLaughlin. Turnover going Textile's way. 12:24 remaining in regulation. California with a 49-45 lead over Philadelphia Textile. Pass into Roundtree. Count the basket and the foul.
That's a big play. Big play right there for Philadelphia Textile on Roundtree getting the ball inside, going up against James Kirkland.
Kirkland picking up personal foul number 3. We'll watch it again.
Going inside of James Kirkland. Roundtree goes up strong. James Kirkland picks up his 3rd foul. Sure, Coach Boone's going to be making a move pretty soon to get James Kirkland on the bench for a while to save him later in the game.
Clock rolls under 12 minutes as we have a whistle down at the California offensive end. This time it's Roundtree picking up his 2nd personal. Team fouls are even up at 3 apiece. We're under 12 minutes to play. California leading 49-47. And as you mentioned, Tim, I'm sure we're not going to see too much more of James Kirkland. As he hits this.
Coach Boone continues to leave him in the game right now. I guess Coach Boone's going to leave him in and let him play and hope that he don't pick up his 4th foul.
51-47 California. 11.5 remaining. Here's Randy Stover. He is playing with 3 fouls himself.
You got 2 guys, 2 key play on both teams playing with 3 fouls.
Gutierrez with the basketball has 5 three-pointers to his credit this evening.
That's a good drive right there by Todd McLaughlin. He gets the shot blocked from behind, but that was still a good drive on his part.
David Fields, the man knocking it out of bounds, a freshman from Philadelphia, Abington Friends High School. Starting the second half, number 12, David Fields.
California's going to have to attack this zone. And what I mean by attacking the zone, they're going to have to dribble penetrate on this zone.
Kenny Toomer now 16 points. California's lead back up by 6. 10:40 remaining. Here's David Fields working against Gutierrez. Partially knocked away into the hands of Watson now. Guarded by McLaughlin. Malloy.
Good job by Chris Mills. Quick hands of Chris Mills.
Count the basket and the foul for Kenny Toomer, going to the line looking for 3.
There we go. Textile takes the time up.
As definitely we can hear the momentum as far as the crowd's concerned, shifting California's way. A big play that time as we'll get set with that replay with California a 55-47 lead.
Here's the steal, an easy pass off to Kenny Toomer for the layup and the foul.
Now we see from our sideline cameraman Christopher Tanke underneath the glass. California with a 55-47 lead, 10:15 remaining in the ball game. California. Kenny Toomer will be going to the line when we return out of this timeout. What is Philadelphia Textile? What are they talking about now?
I'm sure they're talking about we're going to have to move the ball some on the offensive end, and we can't just hold the ball out in front and let California get a hand on it and make a steal. I'm sure Coach McGee is telling those guys that they're going to have to hold on to the ball tight now because it's getting late in the game. And when the ball goes inside, sometimes the official's not going to make some of these calls that they've been making earlier in the game.
Over 10 minutes remaining, and Kenny Toomer to the line looking for the three-point play, shooting 64% on the season from the line. His first trip to the stripe this evening. He has 18 points so far. Makes it 3, 56-47. 10 minutes to play. Watson working against McLaughlin, touches it with Roundtree.
And that's a good job by Tom McLaughlin putting pressure on Watson.
Stover now.
Popping and let that guy shoot from right there.
And tapped in by Damon Roundtree underneath. Roundtree now with 13 points, and Textile finds themselves back within 7 of California. 9:40 to play. Toomer against Roundtree.
That's a good shot for Kenny Toomer. He normally knocks that shot down. That was a good shot right there for him.
Roundtree. After all that, Ed Malloy finally getting the basket. 11 points for him and a 56-51 game.
That's a good job by Malloy. He's stepping up and just picks up a loose ball and goes up for an easy bucket.
Down under 9 minutes. Rick Hill.
Good drive by Rick Hill. That's what Rick Hill has to do. He has to make Philadelphia Textile respect him, make them come out and play, not just let him drive around.
58-51. David Fields. Malloy inside to Stover. Working against Kirkland. 2 men with 3 fouls going at it, and this time it'll be Kirkland picking up number 4.
James Kirkland's 4th, I'm sure. And here's Coach Boone making a move right now, bringing in Chad Scott.
Were you surprised that Coach Boone left Kirkland in as long as he did?
I'm not sure if I'm surprised or not, because I'm sure Coach Boone wants to keep your best players in the game at this time. You know, this is a big game. You want to keep them in there, and you want to keep them loose. You don't want to bring him over to the bench and set him down for a long period of time, and then he gets tight. Then when he has to go back into the game, and it's tougher for him to loosen up.
Randy Stover, 81% foul shooter. Makes the second, 58-52, 8.5 to play. Hill decides not to take that shot.
There he is, Rick Hill, going to the offensive board.
California back up by 8 as we wind down to 8 minutes left to play. Here's Stover against Chad Scott. And a whole lot of people on the ground. And there you see the call going against Raymond Gutierrez.
That's a good job. Ray Gutierrez stepped in, tried to take the charge, but the official sees it a different way and calls the blocking call on Ray Gutierrez.
Not a popular call here at Hamer Gymnasium.
I'm sure that's not a popular call anywhere.
Second foul against Gutierrez, 5th against the Vulcans. Textile has 14 fouls. Under 8 minutes to play, California's lead is 16-52. Malloy inside looking for Roundtree.
Good defensive pressure right there by Kenny Tillman. He's played in front of him, and he gets a hand on the ball. Good job by Kenny Tillman right there.
Stover to inbound to Malloy. 30 on the shot clock. Inside going to Stover. No basket.
Good call by the officials. The ball was still up on the rim when Roundtree tipped the ball in.
And that is not the first time we've seen that call in this tournament. That is at least the third time I've seen it.
It's the second time in this game because it was called on Rick Hill earlier in the first half.
That indeed. 7.5 remaining. We're going to have a push on the back of Rick Hill. That was Ed Malloy with the hand in there. Malloy picking up his first personal, and that will even up the team foul situation at 5 apiece. And California will inbound the basketball with 7:24 remaining, leading 60-52 over Philadelphia Textile.
That time, nobody was coming to the ball when Ray Gutierrez was taking it out, so he had to make a deep pass. There he is again. Ray Gutierrez knocking it down from everywhere tonight.
Number 6 for him, California's lead back to 11. That ties their largest lead they had in the first half. Watson misses the long jumper.
Foul on Chad Scott right there. Right now, Philadelphia Textile is really crashing the offensive boards hard. California's going to have to get a body on Philadelphia Textile and push them away from the basket so they can get the rebound. Let's go down the other end and run our offense.
Just the first personal foul against Scott. 6 against California, sending Randy Stover to the line. He has 16 points on the evening. Make it 17, as now Textile back within 10 of California with 6:50 remaining.
Here it is, the offensive rebound by Malloy, picks it up by Roundtree. And Philadelphia Textiles just stand around the offensive boards. Nobody from California is putting the body on anyone.
Stover hits the deuce, 63-54.
Good job by Rick Hill, taking the ball to the middle of the court and dishing it off to Chad Scott. Chad Scott gets an easy layup.
7 points for him, 65-54, down to 6.5 left to play.
And now California matches the biggest lead they've had all night.
Stover against Scott. Finding Roundtree inside, he's stripped of the basketball. And a foul against California's Kenny Toomer.
Foul number 25, Kenny Toomer.
And California will take a timeout as Kenny Toomer will be picking up his third personal foul of the game, and that's the 7th team foul against California. So Philadelphia Textile will be into the bonus. 6:20 remaining in this game. As you see the score, California leading by 11 points.
California's two key big players have 3 fouls now. So Kenny Toomer and James Kirkland, when James Kirkland gets back into the game, is going to have to be very careful with what they're doing on defense and what they're doing on offense. They don't want to pick up a charge on the offensive end, and they don't want to pick up a silly foul on the defensive end.
And I'm sure that Herb Maggie's squad is going to realize that. What is he going to say? He's going to say, get it inside, work on those guys.
I'm sure he's going to, the next time Philadelphia Textile just to ball on offense, he's going to go right to the inside to Roundtree or Stover, so they can make Kenny Toomer or James Kirkland pick up that 4th foul. Of course, James Kirkland already has 4 fouls, but he's not in the game right now, so I'm sure Philadelphia Textile is going to go right at Kenny Toomer.
Of course, veteran coach on hand for the Philadelphia Textile Rams, Herb Maggie, in his 25th season at the helm of Philadelphia Textile. He has led them to 16 NCAA playoff appearances. No stranger to pressure situations. Our Philadelphia Textile's coaching staff, as Roundtree, we mentioned not the greatest foul shooter for the Rams, misses his first.
Hey, tonight this game is going to come down to who can shoot the best free throws. California has an 11-point lead now, but the lead's just not big enough right now.
The lead right now stands at 10 points, 65-55, clock down toward 6 minutes.
Ray Gutierrez stepping up. That was a good job by Ray Gutierrez stepping up, giving the shot fake, getting the man up in the air and dishing it off to Kenny Toomer.
21 points for Toomer. California back now up by 12, which is their largest lead of the ball game.
This is the largest lead of the night.
Shot up by Malloy. Let's see. Whistle underneath. Kenny Toomer is down there.
That's Kenny Toomer's 4th foul right there. That could be some trouble for California.
James Kirkland already on the California bench with 4 personals, and there you see Kenny Toomer just picking up his 4th himself. That is the 8th team foul. Both teams in the bonus. 5:47 to play. California with a 12-point lead, 67-55.
I think Coach Boone's just going to keep Kenny Toomer in the game and hope that he doesn't pick up the 5th foul, because if he do pick up the 5th foul, he still has James Kirkland on the bench.
David Fields, the freshman from Philly's Abington Friends High School, the 6th man on this Textile Ram team, hits the deuce. Back within 10 are Textile. Right now, Tim, we find California facing the full court press.
California's going to face this full court press again.
Malloy now picking up his 2nd. I checked that I said it both teams in a bonus. That is not true. Only the 6th team foul against Textile.
Somebody got to come back and give Chris Williams some help. Good job by Ray Gutierrez. Should have been a foul right there on number 12.
And there you see Malloy picking up quickly his 2nd foul within 12 seconds. And his 3rd personal foul.
And he just fouled the wrong person on California's team. Because Ray Gutierrez, 87% free throw shooter on the season. Always been a good free throw shooter ever since he's been here at California. You don't want to foul like that.
Now California into the bonus, 5:36 to play. And Gutierrez, now 3 of 3 this evening, increases the California lead 68-57. Gutierrez with 21 points.
Past couple weeks, Ray Gutierrez has really stepped up in the big game.
Gutierrez with 6 3-pointers in this evening's ball game. And there you see California back up their largest lead to 12, under 5.5 remaining. Stover back out to Watson.
There's Stover draining the three-pointer.
Randy Stover.
Randy Stover's a very good outside shooter.
21 points for him. He shoots 45% from three-point range, and they're going to get Rick Hill stepping on the line.
Another careless mistake. When you're dribbling the ball down the sideline, you got to know where you're at on the court.
69-60.
Especially when you're going up against a full-court press that tracks.
Down to 5 minutes, ball inside to Roundtree, drawing the foul against Rick Hill. Rick Hill picking up his third personal.
Here it is. This is something you got to realize where you're at on the court. Rick Hill steps out of bounds right there. Pretty close, but good job by the official noticing that.
Roundtree to the line, 46% on the season.
He's terrible for shooting from the free throw line. He doesn't bend his knees. He has no rotation on the ball. He doesn't follow through well. And when you don't do that, you're going to shoot that type of percentage.
He matches his percentage this evening, 6 out of 12 from the line. That's something California could remember, is Roundtree's the man. If you ever have to foul somebody. Coming up with a steal, here's Stover for three.
And look.
Roundtree gets it to roll.
Nobody blocks out that time for California.
69-63, 4.5 to play, and almost another steal by Philadelphia Textile. A couple more substitutions now. James Kirkland will check in for Chad Scott. So California, both their post players, James Kirkland and Kenny Toomer, will be playing with 4 personals, but with 4.5 minutes to play, Tim, you might as well have them out there, right?
Might as well have them out there.
David Fields picking up a personal foul will send California to the line.
If Chris Williams get the ball out there, dribbling the ball around, somebody's going to have to flash through the middle of California so Chris Williams can have a release person.
4:28 to play, California leading 69-63. Chris Williams to the line for the first time this evening, shooting 76%. One of California's strong points with Chris Williams and Ray Gutierrez. They're the ones we want on the line, if you're California.
And those are the 2 guys that handle the ball most of the time.
70-63, awaiting the second shot from Williams. Hits them both. With just under 4.5 minutes to play in regulation, California leading 71-63. A reminder, Kirkland and Toomer both playing with 4 personal fouls.
And nobody blocks out Roundtree. He gets an easy bucket.
Back to a 6-point lead. California down to 4 minutes.
That's a good job by Rick Hill of pulling the ball back out. That's a silly foul right there. He's on the other side of the court and he's going to foul. So all he's doing is sending Chris Williams to the free throw line, one of California's better free throw shooters.
The freshman picking up his 3rd personal.
I said it was a freshman mistake, but when you're this far in the season, you're not a freshman anymore. Here's the play, is a silly foul, smacking Chris Williams. He's on the other side of the court.
Williams back to the line for California, 76%. 72-65, 3:49 to play. California's lead at 8. Here's Watson driving in, draws the foul, arms are flying for California.
And Watson himself is not a very good free throw shooter. He's only shooting 67% from the free throw line. And for one of your guards. You want your guard shooting a little bit better than that from the free throw line.
Williams, the guilty party for the Vulcans, his second, team 10th now. So that will send Textile into that bonus. They will be shooting 2 shots from the line here on out. 3:44 to play. California now retains their 8-point lead after the miss by Watson.
As I said earlier, this game's going to come down to who's going to step up and knock down the free throw.
The junior from Wilmington, Delaware.
And he misses both of them.
73-65, 3:40. And a rolling. Williams working against Watson to Rick Hill now. And Hill bounces it off his foot.
Rick Hill should have been a foul, but he just pushed the ball down, a little bit out of anger, and the ball goes off his foot. He thought he was fouled, and I thought he was fouled also.
Here's Malloy working against Hill. Textile trailing by 8 points. 3:10 to play. Stover deciding to take the shot.
Good job by Rick Harrison blocking out and getting the rebound.
Stover's the man to watch from long range, number 20.
Somebody's got to give Rick Harrison help. Good job by Kenny Coomer, smacking the ball back out to Ray Gutierrez.
With the shot clock staying now at 35, 2:40 to play. California with a 73-65 lead. Just a reminder, Philadelphia Textile has 2 timeouts remaining. California has 3 if they need them. California back by 10, 75-65. Down to 2:20.
Nobody for California blocked out that time.
Gutierrez taking it all the way in himself and draws the foul.
Good drive by Ray Gutierrez. He picks up the foul. He steps up to the free throw line now. Has an opportunity to push this lead back up to 10.
Rick Hill and David Fields tied up underneath.
Number 12, David Fields.
And that's number 5 on David Fields.
Here's the drive right here, good crossover. He goes to the basket hard.
David Fields out of the ball game, fouling out with 2:04 to play. Fields will leave with 6 points. He was a 6th man off the Textile bench. He played all of the second half in place of starting point guard Patrick Chambers. And I would suggest we will see Chambers back into the ball game, replacing Fields into the lineup as timeout was called by Textile. They will have 1 remaining. I don't believe that was an official timeout. I think they just used their minute to.
Yeah, that minute they just wanted to talk about what they were going to do this time. They didn't really want to bring the guys all the way over and set them on the bench.
California's lead 75-67, 2:04. And that's something we don't see often.
No, you don't see Ray Gutierrez stepping up to the line, missing too many free throws.
It's 1 out of the 2. California's lead is 9 with 2 minutes to play. And here's Patrick Chambers, as we mentioned, back into the ball game, running the show for the Rams. Down to under 2 minutes. Shot up by Ed Malloy, a 3-pointer.
Big shot by Ed Malloy.
6-point California lead. Reach-in foul against Roundtree.
Roundtree picks up his 3rd foul.
And that will be the 10th team foul against Textile. So California will also be in that 2-shot bonus. 1:48 to play. And Rick Hill, we mentioned yesterday, of course, clutch foul shooting as he made the front end of a 1-and-1 to help California into overtime.
if you're Philadelphia Textile, that was a good foul by round 3 because Rick Hill's shooting 64% from the free throw line. No, 73%. He's a better free throw shooter. But make him earn them 2 points.
7-point California lead, a minute 48. Here's Chambers against Williams. A 7-point lead.
Good job by Rick Hill. Getting their foot on the ball, it resets the clock for Philadelphia Textile.
Chambers.
Stover's going to put up the shot.
Stover taking it to the hole against Kirkland.
Nobody blocked out for California.
As Philadelphia Textile will take a timeout. They will have one remaining. A minute 28, California 77-72 lead. What's Textile going to come out? I'm sure we're going to see the press.
I'm sure Textile's going to come out with a full court press, and I'm sure they're going to try to foul someone as soon as they get the ball across the half-court line, hoping that this person, whoever they foul, steps up to the line and misses the 2-shot free throw.
And I'm sure just on California's end, should they need them, they have 3 timeouts themselves. Textile is down to just 1 with a minute 28. California with a 5-point lead, and I'm sure they're going to try to keep it in the hands of Williams and Gutierrez.
Yes, I'm sure they're going to come down the court, and I'm sure they're going to run some time off the clock and keep the ball in Ray Gutierrez and Chris Williams' hand, the 2 better free throw shooters on the team.
The full court press being set up to defend against California. A minute 28, California lead is 5 points. Kirkland to inbound. Here's Toomer. For Chris Williams and the foul.
Good drive right there by Chris Williams. Malloy steps in to take the charge, but it was a blocking ball, and he got an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Pretty gutsy play by Williams, taking it to the hole.
That was a pretty gutsy play by Chris Williams. He could have been called for the charge, but fortunately for California, he was called for the blocking call was called on Malloy.
79-72, a minute 20, and Williams to the line, looking to put California up by 8 points. A reminder, Textile with 1 timeout remaining. (80-72), down to a minute 15. Here's Malloy. Stover cleaning up underneath, and Textile taking their final timeout.
And I'm sure they're going to go in, they're going to set up this press again and try to find someone to foul, but they cannot allow, if they're going to get back in this game, they are in the game, but if they want to cut back into this lead, they're going to not allow California to get easy layups like they just did.
Of course, California breaking their last pressure. We saw Williams taking it to the hole, and he was also fouled. Here it is, down to a minute 8, with California leading Philadelphia Textile 80-74. The winner on to the Elite 8 National Championships in NCAA Division II in Springfield, Massachusetts, March 26th through the 28th. The loser goes home. No surprise, the full court press, a minute 8 to play. California's lead is 6. No timeouts for Textile.
Good job by Chris Williams. Holding the ball up. You don't need to score right now. Let them come out and foul you.
Randy Stover picking up his 4th. Again, California keeping the ball in the hands of their main foul shooters as Williams back to the line, 5 of 5 here in this second half.
There he is, Chris Williams stepping up to the line.
81-74, a minute 4. California has 3 timeouts should they need them. Textile has none. 9-point California lead, down to a minute. Here's Patrick Chambers to Watson. Makes the 3. No timeouts, down to 50 seconds. And no surprise there as Chambers picking up a foul.
That was a good job by Chambers of fouling Chris Williams as soon as they get the ball in. That's the only way that Philadelphia Textile can stop the clock right now.
Down to 49 seconds, 82-77. 5-point California lead, and Williams back to the line. 7 for 7 for Williams. From Sandusky, Ohio, puts the California Vulcans up by 7 points. A minute 45. Philadelphia Textile cannot stop the clock by timeouts. There's Stover. Williams. And he's going to be fouled by Watson this time. And back to the line once again will be Chris Williams.
Chris Williams going back to the line. He's making a living from the line this second half.
36 seconds now. A 7-point California lead.
Chris Williams steps up and misses the first one. He's just going to have to keep his confidence, stay up to the line, and step up and knock down the second free throw.
Eight-point California lead, 35 seconds. In goes Watson. Look for the foul here if Textile does not get the ball on the inbounds. And this one against Roundtree.
Roundtree's hearing it from the crowd, too.
Of course, you remember Roundtree with that technical foul in the first half, getting on the crowd's good side. And Ray Gutierrez to the line for the Vulcans. 5 of 6 from the line, 22 seconds. 85-79.
Ray Gutierrez steps up and missed the first one.
Here come Textile. They trail by 7 points. Down to 20 seconds.
Out of bounds. Good call by the official. That's a good call right there by the official.
Malloy stepping right on the line. An official was right there. 18 seconds. California will inbound the basketball. The crowd is on their feet as Ray Gutierrez will be going to the line.
Right now, I think we can just chalk up this regional championship right here.
"17 seconds remaining. California leading by 7 points. The crowd is on their feet here at Hamer Gymnasium.
The crowd's on their feet here. Everybody's excited.
Anticipation As California now 8-point leaders, 17 seconds. Make it 9 points. Down to 15.
Right now, California don't need a foul. They can just let these guys shoot the ball.
Down to 10. California, you can pack your bags. You're off to Springfield.
This is the furthest any California University teams have gotten.
Damon Roundtree falling out with 19 points. 88-79, 6 seconds.
There it is. California, East Regional champions.
California will represent the Eastern Regionals in the Elite 8 National Championship of NCAA Division II, Springfield, Massachusetts, March 26th through the 28th. California victorious in the championship game. Final score, California University Vulcans 90, Philadelphia Textile Rams 79. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. You have been watching California University Vulcan basketball on Channel 29.
Star and Pepsi drinker. Well, today, we secretly replaced his Pepsi with Coke. Let's see what happens.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
Hammer!
Proper.
Welcome back to Hamer Gymnasium as the all-tournament team is being announced. First from Pace University, Keith Jack Lynch, their big man. From Philadelphia Textile will be Damon Roundtree.
Randy Stover.
Also Randy Stover from Textile. James Kirkland from California.
And the most valuable player, Kenny.
And the most valuable player is here, Kenny Toomer.
Kenny Toomer had an excellent tournament.
21 points in the final game. He had 28 in game number 1.
Pace University, the College of St. Rose, Philadelphia Textile, California University. Thank you.
So there we have the all-tournament selection with James Kirkland and Kenny Toomer getting all-tournament nods here in this Eastern Regional Championship. The California University Vulcans victorious in the championship game over Philadelphia Textile by a 90-79 score in the consolation game. It was St. Rose of Albany over Pace 59-52. St. Rose with the consolation victory, but California University Vulcans will be heading to Springfield, Massachusetts for the Elite 8 of NCAA Division II. Springfield Civic Center, March 26th, 27th, and 28th, the farthest California's ever been.
California's been expecting this all season. They've worked hard all year. These guys been together for 2 years. They've worked hard every day in practice. They did a great job all year.
They see Rick Hill with the old Gatorade bucket. What's on his mind, Tim?
I think you're going to get Coach Boone.
Kenny Toomer leading the way. There's James Kirkland along with Rick Hill and a
going into the locker room and get Coach Boone.
Cast of others. Let's see.
I don't think we can make it into the locker room.
See how far. Our cable may not stretch that far. I don't know. But nonetheless, Tim, as you see, the #1 ranked California University Vulcans in action Thursday, March 26th in the Elite 8, and that will be from the Springfield, Massachusetts Civic Center. That will be Thursday, March 26th at 8:30 p.m. They will play the winner of the North Central Division, which will be the winner of Denver and South Dakota State. That's who California will be playing March 26th at 8:30.
Going up there, who knows anything about those teams right now, but California did a wonderful job tonight coming out playing. These guys have worked hard all season to accomplish the things that they've done. Starting the season out, Coach Boone always set goals for the team. One goal is to win the PSAC West. Another goal is to win the PSAC. Third goal is to get into the NCAA, and then that's win the NCAA region that we're in, and then win the national championship. California's done 4 out of the 5 goals. Now they're on the way to earning the 5th goal by going to Springfield, Massachusetts.
Just wrapping things up on Philadelphia Textile side, their record ends at 28-4. They ended up 4th in the nation, and not a bad shabby record for Philadelphia Textile by any means.
For Philadelphia Textile to get this far, you're not a bad teams do not get this far. Philadelphia Textile is an excellent basketball team. They're a team with a lot of experienced players.
Of course, California now increases their home winning streak. It ends, of course, with this last game at 19-0 at home. They're on a 28-game winning streak. California's overall record, incredible, 30 wins against 1 setback.
That's the best record of any team in California University history. Any team in any sport. No one can say they've been #1 except for the 1992 California men's basketball team.
So, Tim, about wrap things up. We're off to Springfield, Massachusetts. That's March 26th. The final score, once again, from Hamer Gymnasium, the Eastern Regional, the California University Vulcans coming up victorious over the Philadelphia Textile Rams, 90-79. For my partner, Tim Brown, I'm Glenn Lewis. See you all in Springfield, March 26th for the Elite 8 National Championships NCAA Division II.
Let's go load up the buses.